Okay, welcome back. Today we have a couple of flex pieces of HO track with concrete ties, not wood ties. I have another video that has the wood ties if you're more interested in those. And we'll just go through each one right quick and I'll give you a few observations. You want your track to look good on your layout. You want something you're comfortable with, so you might experiment by buying 2 or 3 and then comparing yourself. Let's get started. Microengineering, code 83. The 83, for those of you who don't know, means the height of the rail in thousandths of an inch. So 83 means 83 thousandths of an inch height of rail. This track is pretty good, although my quickest observation is the ties are really crowded on top of each other, and for that reason I don't think there's good enough spacing. I'm not really satisfied with it too much, but some people like it. The next one is made by Atlas. It's code 83, and the ties are much fatter than Microengineering. They're fairly close together. There's not a lot of spacing in there, so I would say similar to Micro, but bigger ties and not much spacing either. I think it's a bit crowded too. And then I have 3 from a company in England called Peco. 83, 75, and 100 heights. They're 83 and 75, as far as I can tell, are almost the same thing. The ties are really close. They look the same. I think the spacing is nice. I think the ties are nice, and I don't think they're too big or too small. I think this is a nice balance of spacing and size. And I'll give you a look at the 75 as well. I would think it's almost the same from what I can tell. There isn't a whole lot of difference there with Peco. And then they have a 100, which has a significant difference that I didn't know about, in that the tie shape is totally different. It's more of a trapezoidal shape. On side profile you can see it's almost like a lobster trap. The ties are skinnier, they're a little closer together. This is a track that they made earlier on, so I think it's the oldest of the 3, and that's probably why it's different, and then they changed the design. And as an added bonus, I'll give you a 6-piece here that's also Peco. It's called their BiBloc. I think I pronounced it right. It's code 75. They've got the construction is it's 2 blocks on one side. So for instance, you have a block here and then a block there. Okay, in the middle is kind of tied with a very small tie piece, so that's kind of a interesting thing. I think they use a lot of this in Europe, and not so much the U.S. So they do make that, which is kind of fun. So we're just pointing that one out there. Some key takeaways from this comparison video, I would say the Microengineering is crowded. The Atlas is big and crowded. The Peco 75 and 83, I can't tell the difference. They're almost the same except for the rail height, of course. So you got about a nice, really nice looking one there. The Peco 100, it's a skinny and it's trapezoidal in shape. And finally, Atlas has a snapback, which I'll demonstrate right quick here. If you pull on it and then you let go, it's going to be swinging around a lot, whereas the other ones don't do that. Okay, Micro doesn't do that. This one's, I can't bend it because of the paint I put on it, but the Peco doesn't do snapback either. You bend it and it stays in place. So I don't know if snapback's a problem with some people. They don't like that. I'm just pointing that out here. I also mentioned in my wood video. Finally, I've got the 2 Peco catalogs. You might pick one up. They're really nice. This is the complete Peco catalog. It's got all the stuff in it that they make, models, plastic models, and other things besides all the track that they make. And a really nice catalog. And then their other catalog is their track-only catalog. This one's free, but it's not always in stock, and it has just basically their tracks, all the different systems here. And they also have the other side. It's not just HO. Peco's into N and O and a whole lot of other things. For example, here's a piece of N Peco. See how small it is? I'll put it down next to his big brother right there. See that? So Peco makes beautiful stuff. I have some comments in my other video about turnouts and other things, but thanks for watching.